In the golden haze of a Mughal dawn, where the Yamuna River whispered secrets to the ancient walls of Agra, Emperor Akbar the Great held court in the opulent Diwan-i-Khas. The year was 1562, and Akbar, barely 20 years into his reign, was already a legend, a conqueror of empires, a patron of poets, and a seeker of truth in the labyrinth of human folly. His durbar was a tapestry of silk and intrigue, where nobles in jewel-encrusted turbans debated philosophy while spies lurked in the shadows. But on this fateful morning, a humble schoolteacher from a dusty village on the empire's fringes would unravel a thread of corruption with nothing more than his tongue and an audacious bargain. Mahesh Das was no ordinary man. Born in 1528 to a modest Brahmin family in Tikawanpur, he had traded the plough for the pen early in life, teaching village children the Vedas under a banyan tree. His mind was a forge where ideas sparked like embers. He could recite Kalidasa's verses backward, solve riddles that stumped pandits, and argue ethics with the fervor of a storm. Word of his wisdom reached Akbar's ears through a traveling fakir, who claimed Mahesh had settled a bitter land dispute between two feuding clans, not with swords, but with a parable that exposed their greed. Intrigued, Akbar summoned him to Agra. "Bring this village sage," the emperor decreed. "Let us see if his tongue is as sharp as his mind." The journey from Tikawanpur to Agra was a trial of dust and determination. Mahesh traveled by bullock cart, his only possessions a worn dhoti, a satchel of scrolls, and a heart unburdened by ambition. As the red sandstone ramparts of Fatehpur Sikri loomed on the horizon, Akbar's nascent dream of a city in stone, Mahesh felt the weight of destiny settle upon him. He arrived at the gates of the Red Fort as the sun dipped low, painting the minarets in fire. But entry was not granted lightly. Guarding the portal was a hulking figure named Karim Khan, a veteran of Akbar's campaigns whose loyalty had curdled into avarice. Karim's eyes, sharp as a falcon's, scanned Mahesh's threadbare attire. "Halt, mendicant," Karim growled, his hand resting on a curved talwar. "The emperor's court is no marketplace for beggars. What business brings you here?" Mahesh bowed low, his voice steady as the Ganges. "I am Mahesh Das, summoned by His Majesty to offer counsel on a matter of justice." Karim's laugh was a bark, devoid of mirth. "Summoned or not, every soul pays the toll. 5 gold mohurs, or turn back to your mud hut." He extended a greasy palm. "The bribe is routine as breathing in this den of privilege." Mahesh's mind raced. He had no coins, his village paid in grain and gratitude. Refusal meant exile from the court, a lifetime of obscurity. But retreat was not in his nature. Feigning compliance, he rummaged in his satchel, producing a single copper piece. "Noble guard, I am a poor teacher. Yet I vow this, grant me passage, and I shall claim half of whatever reward the emperor bestows upon me today." "You shall have your share, fair and full." Karim paused, suspicion flickering in his eyes. Half a reward. From a pauper. It smacked of trickery, yet the audacity intrigued him. What harm in a fool's promise? "Very well, village rat. But if your words earn dust, I'll have your hide for my boots." With a shove, he waved Mahesh through the gates. The Diwan-i-Khas was a vision of splendor, marble floors inlaid with pietra dura, arches soaring like prayerful hands, and the air heavy with attar of roses. Akbar sat enthroned on a golden divan, flanked by his 9 jewels, the Navratnas, among them the poet Abul Fazl and the warrior Tansen. The court buzzed with anticipation, rumors of the wise teacher had preceded him. As Mahesh entered, he prostrated himself, forehead to the cool stone. "Rise, Mahesh Das," Akbar commanded, his voice resonant as a war drum. "The fakir speaks highly of you. Tell us of this land dispute you resolved. How did you bring peace without a drop of blood?" Mahesh rose, his eyes meeting the emperor's without flinching, a rarity that drew murmurs from the assembly. He recounted the tale. 2 brothers, heirs to a fertile orchard, torn by inheritance. One hoarded the fruits, the other the roots. Mahesh had them stand before the village well. "Dig here," he said, "and share what you find." They unearthed a buried pot of silver, their father's secret savings. Greed forgotten, they embraced as brothers. "Justice," Mahesh concluded, "is not in dividing spoils, but in revealing what binds us." Akbar leaned forward, his dark eyes alight. "A fine parable. You speak like Birbal of old tales, wise beyond your years. Name your reward, teacher." "Gold. Land. A title." The court held its breath. Nobles whispered wagers. A village fiefdom, perhaps, or a post in the scribal halls. Mahesh hesitated, then spoke with deliberate calm. Great Padishah, I seek no riches. Grant me 50 lashes from the imperial whip, delivered here, before all. A gasp rippled through the hall like wind through wheat. Akbar's brow furrowed. Lashes. You mock the throne. Or court madness. No mockery, Majesty, Mahesh replied, his voice unwavering. I am but a humble man, deserving of correction for my presumption. Yet let the lashes fall as I request, 50 in number, upon my back. Confusion reigned. Abul Fazl stroked his beard, pondering some esoteric twist. Tansen plucked a somber note on his veena. Karim Khan, summoned to witness from the antechamber, smirked inwardly, 50 lashes. The fool's reward was self-inflicted ruin. Half of that would be 25 welts on his own conscience-free hide, but no matter, the teacher would break first. Akbar, ever the judge of character, sensed depths and spoken. So be it. But first, bind the whip to truth. Proceed. As the royal lash master uncoiled the leather, braided with knots for bite, Mahesh turned to the assembly. One moment, O Emperor. Before the first strike, I call forth the guardian of your gates, Karim Khan. He stands as witness. Karim stepped forward, his bravado cracking like dry earth. Witness to what, worm? Mahesh's gaze pierced him. To our bargain at the threshold. I promised you half my reward for passage. These 50 lashes are that reward, my price for wisdom's audience. Thus, you claim 25 upon your flesh, as justice demands. The court erupted. Laughter bubbled from the Navratnas, nobles clutched their sides. Akbar threw back his head, his roar of mirth echoing off the vaults, a sound rarer than monsoon pearls. By Allah! The trap snapped shut. Greed's own noose. Karim blanched, stammering denials, but the emperor's word was iron. Seize him. Let the lashes divide as vowed, 25 for the extortionist, 25 for the sage who turns poison to nectar. The lash master's arm rose and fell in rhythm, the crack of leather a symphony of retribution. Karim howled first, his uniform stripped, pride flayed with each stroke. Mahesh followed, stoic as a yogi in samadhi, his back a map of crimson rivers. Yet through the pain, his lips curved in a secret smile. Whispers spread, he endures not for glory, but to teach, that corruption festers in shadows, slain only by light. When the 50th lash fell, silence descended. Akbar descended his throne, draping a silken shawl over Mahesh's shoulders. You are no longer Das the teacher, but Birbal the brave, panther of the court, scourge of the sly. Join my Navratnas. Your wit shall be my shield. Birbal, meaning, man of bees, for his words stung like swarms, rose that day from ashes of agony. He served Akbar faithfully for decades, outwitting assassins, mediating with Rajput kings, and penning fables that endure in Urdu Akbars and Bengali kathas. The 50 Lash Trap became legend, etched in miniature paintings, Akbar laughing, Birbal unbowed, Karim a crumpled footnote. Yet the tale's marrow is timeless, transcending the Mughal mirage. In an era of velvet corruption, where tolls at borders mirror modern bribes, and courts echo with hollow oaths, it whispers, true power lies not in thrones or whips, but in the alchemy of words. Wit disarms where force fails, justice, when twisted into a trap, ensnares the trapper. Birbal's bargain reminds us that humility is the sharpest blade, and courage, the unyielding spine. Consider the parallels in our world. In 2023, a Kenyan whistleblower exposed graft in Nairobi's ports, earning lashes of threats yet toppling a minister, echoes of Mahesh's stand. Or the hashtag #MeToo reckonings, where victims flipped silence into shared reckoning, having the burden on abusers. Even in literature, from Aesop's foxes to Shakespeare's Iagos, the motif recurs, the underdog's gambit, pregnant with peril, births equity. Birbal's legacy bloomed in Akbar's empire, a green shoot in arid power. He fathered tales of riddles unsolved, how many crows in Agra? Akbar's answer, as many as the emperor decrees, in moral mazes that schooled generations. Died in 1586 during a Deccan skirmish, betrayed by envious courtiers, his spirit lingers in Diwali skits and school primers. As the sun sets over Agra today, tourists trace the fort's paths, oblivious to the ghosts of greed and grace. But for those who listen, the Yamuna still murmurs, beware the toll keeper, honor the teacher. In wit's forge, justice is hammered, not with hammers, but with half-promises that heal the whole world.